We're here at IGEL DISRUPT23 in Nashville, Tennessee, and I have the pleasure of having Adam Cooper with me of Flexxible. How are you doing?
Hi, so my name's Adam Cooperman. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for Flexxible. And yeah, I'm really good today. It's a great event. It's great to see everyone. These things are a bit of a who's who of end user computing, which is quite nice. It's a good time, see old friends, make new alliances. These are great. I was in Munich as well as we establish our market in the US. It's great to be here in Nashville.
Maybe you can start, give us a little bit of a background on Flexxible and what do you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So Flexxible started about 17 years ago by Sebastian, our founder and CEO, and we started doing desktop as a service for small businesses and SMB. And Sebastian's background is in development. He's an automator, he's a creator. So he started to create tools and services that enabled people to deploy VDI automatically. So the old way that we had our product was that you could deploy a fully enterprise-grade Citrix environment in a couple of hours by using a next wizard, including NetScalers, securing them, and everything that you needed. Now that evolved over time as our maturity, we got more mature with our automation, we got more mature with our services, and we built more and more tools. We started to add monitoring and digital experience management and application landscape tools and diagnostics tools, and then tools to be able to support complex multi-cloud or multi-platform environments. And then what we did is eventually, after all of that work was done, we repackaged that as Flex Desktop, which is the service that we focus on today.
And how do you guys work together with IGEL?
So we focus on the management area of EUC. So we focus in on managing that environment and keeping the lights on. And IGEL, I've worked with the IGEL team, Jed, Simon, and Doug before he moved to Control for a lot of years. So I would say that we're mostly an advocate for IGEL technology. The reason that we advocate for it is because we ourselves are multi-cloud, multi-platform, multi-broker. The synergy between what we do for the VDI environment and what they do for the endpoint, especially with the new stuff they've been doing with Cosmos, it's fantastic. So while we don't sell IGEL, the synergy is natural and it fits perfectly.
And I guess you have a demo of the product that you can show us?
Yeah, of course. I'd love to show you a quick demo. I've got one pre-prepared, so I'll say a quick prayer to the demo gods and away we go. So,
excellent.
The way that we operate is we are a combination of tools, services, and management that allows organizations to really not just have VDI, but to use VDI. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to walk you through our tools here today. So first of all, this is our Flex portal. This is where you're going to go to be able to get access to all of your different areas within our environment, and also to see all of your environments and all the tools that are involved. As I mentioned, we can deploy on private cloud, on public cloud. We can deliver our private cloud on a customer's data center. We can overlay over a current deployment or handle a greenfield deployment. We also support Citrix, we support VMware, we support Parallels and AVD. This gives us a really unique capability in this market that we can provide that unified management, that unified operational structure using the Flex Desktop Digital Workspace platform. One of the really important things here is that we are automation first, but tools fall down. You can only automate certain parts of what you need, and not everything is always going to fit into that automation, which is where tools fall apart. So our mantra at Flexxible is that we are automation first and human second. Moving through the tools that we have here today, you'll see Flex Analyzer, Flex Workspaces, Flex Automation, and Flex Monitoring. In here we can also see a couple of environments, Edge, our full private cloud solution, and Flex Desktop Client. Flex Desktop Client is where we extend out to just managing physical devices where people also have Windows endpoints in their environment. Today I'm going to focus in on this Edge environment in here, and in here we can go in and see all of the different usage that we're seeing. So we can see all the different VDI sizes on the environment, and we can use this for billing and allowing customers to be able to charge back the cost of VDI. And that really helps to set the scene for the next few things that I'm going to dive into. Because a lot of the time we talk about how customers have VDI, but it actually shackles their users. It doesn't give them something that really enables them to use VDI and to gain the power that we all know it can have when it's deployed and managed properly. And when we talk about the complexity of a VDI solution, historically you need servers, you need storage, you need networking. It's a multidisciplinary skill set that is incredibly complex. Now, what we do is we provide tools for people to be able to analyze their digital workspaces. So we can look at this from the perspective of a user. In here, I'm looking at my device here today. We can look at all of the different things that are happening on here. We can even see things like the latency for individual applications to really troubleshoot down what is going wrong with those apps. Now, we like to provide these tools to end user line management. So what if a user in finance, right, you might have 500 people in finance, what do we do to them? We give them 4 cores, 8 gig of RAM. There's one guy there, he's running Power BI reports, he's running financial models, and he needs a much more powerful VDI. What we can enable with our tools here is we can go and look at that user's digital experience. We can see what's happening on that device, but then we can also dive into all of the events that they're having where they're falling out of the bounds of what could be considered productive work. In here, you can see that I've been working on my Surface tablet. We can see all of the different workspaces that a user or organization has. And in here, we can then look at, actually, we've got all these events where I'm going out of bounds on my CPU. When I go out of bounds, we also capture all of the running apps, so we know whether to route that to support, to maybe fix something with Windows Update, or maybe we can route that over to something like their line manager to enable them to resize that user's VDI on the fly. Maybe it's their lead Business Power BI developer and they want to spend $20 because this guy's hitting 80% CPU 4 times a day while he's trying to run reports. Maybe we can make that user 5 or 10% more productive by giving that control and devolving that authority of sizing, productivity and cost down much closer to the user, to the people who really know what those workloads are, and expose that visibility out to those people. In doing that, we need to train and educate users about the power of what using virtualized compute can really do for their organization. The other things that we can do in here is start to look at application resources. So in here, we can use these views to be able to filter down individual applications or users to compare the usage profile of something like Excel from a finance user who purchases things on a ledger versus a finance user who runs complex Power BI models. It's the same app, it doesn't have the same performance characteristics. I was at EUC Masters this weekend, and one of the reasons I've lost my voice is I've been talking for 6 days straight. Phenomenal event, little shout out to Steve Greenberg there. But I was chatting with Jim Moyle and he was giving it as an example of a customer that had 100,000 users, 1,000 apps, but they had over 10,000 permutations of those different apps and users. And you expect that we're going to be able to standardize this across large enterprise organizations and actually do anything other than shackle our users? Our users are smart and we need to treat them like that. We need to treat people like we're not in a homogeneous workforce and allow users to really use their own creativity and to use that power. Now, diving a little bit further into the tools, we can use this to look at the resource consumption of different apps and different use cases to perfectly size an environment to make sure that we're delivering that productivity. If we can deliver 10% additional productivity to 1% of an organization's workforce, okay, we have a huge increase in productivity across that organization. We want to start allowing people to really harness VDI. And to do that, we probably need multi-cloud, multi-platform environments. There might be some physical devices using IGEL, I would hope, all right? But when we add all of that complexity, we end up with something that is inherently complex. So once we've got something that allows us to see the workspaces, to see the users, to see all of the different workspaces that a user is using and which applications that user is utilizing on which devices, we can then take that a step deeper and say, well, how do we support that complex hybrid multi-cloud environment with potentially multi-brokers and used in different countries and different locations? So we created support tools that run across all of these different environments. Our support tooling in Flex Workspaces is designed for customers' first-line support teams. The idea is here that any user on any device can be supported through a single pane of glass, and we can access those devices from one UI. So I can go in here and I can access or shadow a user's VDI, or I can shadow their thin client through a single interface. We can also down-level tasks like things that can be scripted, things that can be automated, tasks like IT support or profile resets, from third line where they can automate those tasks into things that first line users can actually access. This means that we can start to really nail into being able to support any device, anywhere, anyhow. The final two parts of the demo that I'm going to show very quickly are microservices. So we use a lot of automation and we build a lot of automation, and whenever a customer asks us something, we automate it first if it's going to be repeated, and then it becomes a microservice in our portfolio or catalog, so that any customer can provide that microservice across that environment to either their end users, to their IT support, or to IT operations. What that's accumulated in is it allows us to do things like workspace management and maybe create a set of app servers. And we can create a set of app servers on any device, anywhere, or any platform, on any broker using a single form. We can enable users to self-service all of the different areas of their business, so they can go in and provision or resize their own workspace, or maybe we could give that power to their line management and enable them to really get into that VDI. Finally, as part of this, because we combine services and tools in our automation first and then human second, we monitor those environments, we keep them best practice, we upgrade and we update them, and then we surface the most critical pieces of information away from the noise to the customers so they can see workspaces, SLAs and performance across their environment. And that's what we do to power and empower the world of EUC.
Great. I guess lastly, where can people go if they want to find out more information about Flexxible or take those next steps?
Yeah, so you can go to flexxible.com, which is currently a temporary website. It's a holding page while we complete our rebrand. On top of that, you can reach out to either myself, Adam Cooperman, on LinkedIn, or via email. We also have Sebastian Pratt, our founder and CEO, who really began this journey of empowerment. But just reach out to us, give us a shout. There's contact forms, there's email, rather not Instagram, but yeah, any of the common communication methods. Reach out to us, we'll show you what we can do, and let's have a conversation about using VDI, not having VDI.
Great, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and thanks for being part of our VMblog coverage of the IGEL DISRUPT23.
So.